This week in first grade, week 7, we are going to start doing our holiday card competition. I know it's a little early and it's only October, but um we have to do our holiday card competition kind of early because all of the schools in the public schools of Robeson County have to turn in students' artwork, holiday artwork to pick for Christmas cards. And if usually our school has 2 or more Christmas cards chosen every year of whatever students they decide they want to choose that year. So, one main thing you need to remember is you cannot have any writing whatsoever. It can only be a picture, some kind of winter scene or Christmas holiday theme. And it is tradition. Christmas is a tradition. It's an annual holiday which happens every year, and what we're going to talk about is tradition. And tradition is where you generally everyone tries to decorate for Christmas, and you'll see lights and Christmas trees and wreaths and just all kinds of stuff everywhere, just about everywhere you go. And some traditions are people do a lot of baking and cooking of certain things like gingerbread men and gingerbread houses and just all kinds of different things. And you have your Christmas movies that come out, and you're like winter wonderlands and everything else. But we're going to do 2 weeks worth of this. So you're going to do one this week and completely color it, turn it in, and then the next week you will do another set, another Christmas drawing or winter drawing, and completely color it. So we're going to have, the reason why we're going to have 2 weeks of it is because you need, with it being virtual, we're going to need more artwork to turn in. That way maybe we have more of a chance of our school getting picked, and maybe more than one card, hopefully. So main thing is you cannot have any writing on the front of your paper whatsoever. It can't say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. It can't say anything. No writing whatsoever. Your name cannot even be on the front of the paper. So if you email me a copy of your work, you need to make sure you put your teacher's name in the email, not on the paper. Put it in the email so that I will know what teacher to go in and look under, because I have 20 teachers. I will need to be able to go in and look under that, find your name under that teacher's name, and put your grade in for turning in your holiday card for the public schools of Robeson County. Because we have to submit every single one of these to the board. And they cannot have any writing or your name on them. If they have writing on the front of them or your name on them, on the front of it, we cannot turn those in. Now, that being said, one of the things that we hear a lot about or see is reindeer. And one of our main ones that we usually focus on around the holiday times with Christmas is Rudolph. I kind of wanted to do since we're in this pandemic, a Rudolph who's being safe during this pandemic and wearing his mask. And since Rudolph's nose lights up, I kind of made it to where you have highlights here to show that his mask lights up. And I'm going to do kind of a different one whenever we actually draw this in just a second. But that's what we're kind of leaning towards this morning. And once we have finished this, yours does not have to be Rudolph. It can just be a plain reindeer. So it just pertains to wintertime, because wintertime is when we generally see reindeer and stuff like that. Deer, reindeer, you name it. And you can choose whether or not you want your mask to look like it's lighting up, because like I said, it does not have to be Rudolph. It can just be a plain reindeer. That is entirely up to you. But you're just going to follow along with me this week, and we're going to do a reindeer. Next week we will do another kind of like how to draw, and so therefore you just follow along with me and draw like I draw. And if you need to leave out the kind of more holiday looking things and the Rudolph, that's fine. But I thought it would be really cute if we stuck with the whole pandemic idea and put a mask on our reindeer. So we're going to get started drawing. And it's easier if we start with the eyeballs. You're going to start with the eyeballs kind of in the middle of the paper. So center some eyeballs in there. I'm going to go ahead and color that in. And once you have that first circle for your eyeball, I want you to go ahead and put another little circle in there to look like his eyes are highlighted. Or maybe that's his pupil he can see out of. But they tend to have solid black colored eyes, so to me it just looks better if you kind of like put that highlight in there, so for that circle on each eye. Now we're going to put some antlers on him. And you're going to start with a line that comes up, and you're going to curve it out for the antlers that curve out, that stick out whenever they grow large enough and start to curve out and stick out. And you're just going to do that over and over again. Or you kind of going to leave one long part that these antlers have the points that come out. And curve that out again. And you can have as many antlers sticking out as you want to. And then we're just going to add our Christmas balls, which are just circles. for like our Christmas ornaments are hanging on his antlers. I know I have deer at my house. I hang all kinds of stuff on our deer's antlers for decoration. So you're just going to do the same thing on this side, and it doesn't have to be exactly like the other antler because no two antlers are exactly alike. They grow in their own way. You're going to bring those up and give those antlers the points that come out. But you need that main one that comes out so that these points that come out on the side can grow out to the side. And back around, connecting it at the bottom. And then you're just going to add your Christmas ornaments that hang on his antlers. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to work on his mask to keep him safe from catching COVID. And actually, this would probably be easier. Go ahead and draw this, your kind of mask shape, and it's going to come more to, he's got a kind of funky shaped mask. It's going to come because his nose is kind of sticking out, so his mask is going to be pulled more, and it's going to kind of cause it to shape a little different from your regular rectangular shaped mask. You draw that one line that comes around, and you may need to connect it if you have enough paper at the bottom, but I kind of run out of space.
How healthy your body is.
So we're trying to take up as much space on the paper as possible. And then you're going to come in with another line from where the stitching in the mask is to, kind of hold it together. And then you're going to bring those lines out like I was showing you over here. You're going to just connect it to the outside of the mask and kind of a curved line. Curve those lines up a little, just slightly. And you're going to need a set at the bottom and the top. So you're going to do 2 more lines over here. So you should have a total of 4 straps on that mask. Now, if you have crayons and it doesn't matter, you can use whatever kind of paper, whatever kind of crayons, coloring pencils, markers, whatever you have available. And you're going to come in and you're going to use a little bit of extra pressure on the actual antlers. Which means you're going to bear down a little bit harder on those antlers. And the reason for that being is because you're going to come on the, when you come in and do your background, once we pick up a few colors right fast and color our ornaments. Just a second. It doesn't matter what color you color your ornaments. That is entirely up to you. Now, what I was talking about with the pressure and pressing down a little bit harder on those actual antlers is because when we come in to color the background, you're not going to mash down hardly any at all so that your antlers are darker than your background. See how you can tell the difference in the two different colors? Because this one's letting more of the white paper show through than if you had used the same pressure. It would look like the same exact color. Now, if you're using coloring pencils and you have two different colors of brown, or if you have two different colors of brown in your crayons, you can simply just do your antlers two different colors. Now, I'm going to show you one of the more important things about his mask. And I just went with the traditional red and green for our Christmas colors. But you may want your mask a different color. But because it's Rudolph, I just trimmed it in green. But like I said, yours does not have to be Rudolph. It can just be a plain reindeer if that's what you need it to be. Something that just ties more into the holiday and winter traditions. But you're going to come in, and when you color your mask, I kind of lightly drew myself some almost like points. I just kind of went up and down, up and down, up and down, all around like this, so that you could barely see it, so I can color over it. But kind of like this, but I decided I'm going to do just one big highlight to make it look like Rudolph's nose is lit up behind this mask so that he can see to guide that sleigh. And I'm not going to color in that part of the mask completely. I'm going to kind of come and color around it. I just wanted to show you how to color this highlighted part in. And highlighted means where like the light is hitting it or showing through in this part, or in this case. Like I said, I'm just going to come in those points and kind of leave it to where it looks like it's shining out. Then I'm going to lightly go in there because the mask itself is red. So I'm going to lightly go through there and color that red. But the outside out here is going to have harder pressure on that crayon so that it shows up darker around the edges and very light in the middle, so that it looks like his nose is lit up. And you can kind of fast forward this like as if we had pulled up it to how to draw on the internet. And when you get finished coloring, remember about your pressure with your antlers if you're using coloring pencils or crayons. And don't forget to, if you want yours to look like it's lit up, use those highlights. And when you get finished, you should have a brown Rudolph or reindeer, whichever way you want to call it, and enjoy your Christmas drawing this week. And next week we will draw another one. I'm not sure yet exactly what we will be drawing next week, but we will be continuing with Christmas.